Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about my top 3 operations for Space Marine 2, why they are the dog's bollocks and why you should be playing them, and they should be your favourite. So grab a brew, get comfortable and let's get waffling. Yeah, so Space Marine 2, I have pretty much now clocked up about 300 hours, probably just over 300 hours in the game now, and I have done a lot of operations over these past few months since the game come out back in September. I have cleared every operation on lethal difficulty. I got my helmet. Yes, I got the helmet after it was nerfed. Apparently it was nerfed. It was still a challenge, it was still fun, and I still play lethal today, and I have had a lot of fun playing the game, and I will continue playing operations in the future, and for the foreseeable future, to be fair, because the operations I find are really fun. They are kind of like your end game progression. And for me personally, I still have a lot of weapons that I haven't maxed out and fully upgraded. So that's what I'm going to be working on myself. Now, the game does get a lot of stick by people by saying there aren't enough operations, there isn't enough variety, they aren't very challenging. And I kind of sort of laugh at that because there are 8 of them, there are 4 levels of difficulty, and there are multiple different weapon options and everything else you can play, not alone that, not even counting the different classes that you could go into. Now obviously I play tactical as my main, and yes, I like to run around with a grenade launcher, which is stupidly overpowered, and I know this, and I know that I could drop my auspex and clear those positions really quickly. So yeah, I understand that that's kind of OP, and it makes life a lot easier. If I want a bit of a challenge, I use a weapon that hasn't yet been leveled up or fully upgraded, and I have quite a few, especially on my tactical marine. I haven't really touched the plasma, and I haven't really sort of played around with the melter gun all that much, although it is fully upgraded because I have used it on the Vanguard. Now, I will say that some of the operations that I've picked are my personal opinion, okay? This is based on my enjoyment and my fun that I've had while playing them, and I generally pick the ones that I will generally go to when it comes to me picking operations. If I haven't really got a preference, or I'm not really in the mood to sort of just pick one of those that I've picked in this video, I will just hit the quick play and just play whichever mission the game throws at me and still have a jolly good time. Now, a little bit of quickness on the channel. So as you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram, I have been delving into oil paints with my Sons of Horus. There is a video coming for that very soon as I've got the squad finished, and I'll be talking about my process of learning about the oil paints and airbrushing as a whole, and it's going to be quite an interesting video if you are like me learning new hobby skills. The camera for filming tutorials now has a cable linked to my computer. Yay! Finally got the right length. I needed a 3 meter, not a 2 meter. That is now done, and I will be getting, once I've worked out the best position for the camera and my lighting and everything else, I will be getting that sorted for future tutorials. So if there's any tutorial that you want me to do, let me know in the comments below and I will get that done. But enough wombling, let's get into the actual topic of the conversation, and that is operations. So first things first, a notable mention of a one that very came close to getting in my top 3 but just missed out, and that is the one with the train at the end where you launch the train and blow up the hive. I can't remember the name. Is it the Fall of Artarius or something like that? That was the one that I almost got in. I enjoy that one. It has quite a fun sort of event at the end. I like the sort of like jumping and capturing the flags type thing, the objectives. I like the waves of Tyranids that you get. You'll find that all of my top missions are Tyranid focused. The Chaos ones are good, and I do enjoy the Chaos Space Marine missions, but I generally find that they kind of are a little bit lacking of that wave mentality. The Chaos Space Marines are okay to fight. You can generally take them down quite quickly. if the game decides to give you a few blockable attacks. If not, then it's a lot of dodging and doing gun strikes and dodging and doing gun strikes and everything else. So yeah, the Chaos ones are not in my top 3, so just bear that in mind. As for the train one, I do like it. So first things first, let's kick it off. So number 3 on my list is, you guessed it, the first mission we have on the list. And why I like this mission is purely down to the fact that it's probably the one I've done the most out of all of them. It is super quick to do. It's fun. It has a lot of areas that you're going to get enemies thrown at you. You kind of, after playing it a while, especially on Ruthless and Lethal difficulty, you kind of know when you're going to get hit really hard. There's that element when you clear the little camp and get your little your information from the dead soldiers, and you move up the hill and you get to that sort of next area where you get to the door. You kind of guarantee that you're going to hit with a Terminus level bad guy, probably, you know, a Neurothrope or a Carnivex maybe. Most of the time it's a Neurothrope. You're guaranteed of getting multiple Zoanthropes and Lictors thrown in there, and you get multiple waves all around you. And yeah, it's just, I really enjoy this mission. It's fun because it's kind of like a mini horde mode at later levels. The game just throws wave of wave of wave at you. You kind of have that sort of attack and defend element in with the 4 sort of generators, which is kind of cool. And it's really cool to see that when you are playing the game with other people and randoms, that when they press the button, everybody seems to know, especially newer, not so much the new players, but you can always spot the old players that have been around for a while, because they'll either push the explosive tanks into the way of the drop-in Tyranids, or they'll generally have a melter bomb waiting for them. And it's really kind of funny to see that, because that tactic now is literally ingrained. It's funny that the devs start mixing it up and dropping that pod somewhere else to try to sort of like throw you off, but 9 out of 10 times it's pretty much there, and I kind of like that. Then you go into the end where you've got that wave, and you've just got to keep fighting and fighting and fighting until the guy says detonate, and then you run to hit that button. And even then, running to the transport doesn't necessarily mean you're finished. You may still have another enemy wave and everything else, and you just literally got to get to the circle. So that's my number 3. Number 2 on the list is probably by far one of the most coolest missions, operations, and one that baned me at the very beginning, and that is Decapitation, fighting the Hive Tyrant. I think this is, and you'll see this when I pick number 1, this is probably one of my favourite types of operations, because not only does it have a lot going on through the level itself, you've got a lot of open areas to fight in, you have that nice sort of going through the cathedral, you've got the sort of element where you go into the building to plant the bombs, you have that really cool part where you're at the end of the bridge fighting wave after wave after wave of Tyranids until the Hive Tyrant turns up, then you detonate the bridge and blow it up. Then you have that sort of mini sort of tunnel fight, and then you finally get to the Hive Tyrant where you actually get a proper boss fight in the actual game, which is really, really, really cool to see. So yeah, I really enjoy that fight. Like I said, when I first started playing the game and I really wanted to get it down on Ruthless, this was before Lethal was even a thing, I played for hours and hours. I think I even live streamed it. Like, I think I live streamed like 5 or 6 hours to get that fight done on Ruthless, because it was a really hard fight back in that day. I think on Lethal it only took me like 4 or 5 attempts, but by that point I had a fully upgraded grenade launcher on my tactical, ospec'd it, melter bomb, grenades, crack grenades. That thing was dead in seconds, which was really quite funny. But then the 3 of us were all pretty tooled up. But yeah, I really love Decapitation. I think it's got everything that the game really has to offer, and I'm really excited for things like in the future of Horde mode, because there's certain aspects of that level that really kind of show what they're potentially going to do with the Horde mode, which is really, really cool. Finally, number one, and that is Termination. Like the Bio Titan fight and the Bio Titan level, the entire operation for me is absolutely amazing. I have loved this operation since the first day it dropped. I remember the patch dropping and jumping in and getting in and playing it straight away to get it recorded, to get it up on the YouTube channel, and just being blown away by how beautiful this level was. That opening sequence where you come off the landing strip, you come down the hill, and you get that big sort of view of the Titan in the distance and all of the Imperial Guard fighting it, and you get it launching all of the bioweaponry at you, and you're like, oh wow, this is absolutely peak. Absolutely. This captures everything that 40k is, and it's really, really cool. You've got wide open spaces in the jungle, and then you end up fighting inside a facility, which has you again doing the sort of capturing and taking the type of objectives. And again, you get wave after wave after wave after wave of Tyranids, and then you move through that really messed up area with all of the dead, and then eventually you come out the other side, and you have probably what I find my favorite part of the level, which is that point as you come out of the gate and you see the Bio Titan walking in front of you, and you sort of move through there, and you have that little fight up the hill into the sort of area and the generators and everything where the gun is. I love that piece of that level. I'm really glad that in the footage I filmed here that that we actually got that fight up that hill, because it looks so damn cool, and it's just so 40k. A big shout out, by the way, to the two guys that were with me for the filming. Cheers for you two. You did absolutely brilliantly. Cheers, thanks very much. And you know, big sports for actually sticking around while I could film and just coming along for the ride as well. So yeah, cheers, boys. So yeah, Termination is by far my favorite, and I just love it. The fight at the end is really, really good. But yeah, just absolutely peak. So that is the video, everybody. Thanks very much. Like I said, I love operations in Space Marine 2. I think they are the lifeblood of the game. I really can't wait to see what this next year has to bring. And I think what people forget is the game's only been out since September, and already we have like 8 operations. We've had 2 new ones. We know there's a new one coming. And I'm really intrigued to see where they go now, because all of the operations that we got are heavily linked into the solo player campaign, and we've now got all of them are there. So it's really interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they do from this point on with adding new operations. I'm really hoping we get things like boarding actions of fighting on ships, attacking bio ships, defending ships and stuff like that. I do think that would be an absolutely amazing environment and mode of gameplay to play, even for PvP as well. And PvP itself, Season 3 looks like it's going to be the PvP season. Super excited for that. I do like my PvP in Space Marine 2. But that's the video. If you agree, even if you don't agree with my choices, let me know in the comments below and we can have a chat about it. You know, everyone has their own opinions about what is a fun operation and what isn't. I'm sure I'm going to get comments of people telling me that this game sucks and that the operations are whack or they're too easy. You know what? If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. That's cool. You know, everyone is entitled to their opinion. But the best thing to do is kind of like try not to dissuade people from playing the game. This game is really, really good. It's probably the best 40k game that has ever come out, and that's saying something, considering that the original Space Marine game was really, really good, and Dawn of War 2 and Dawn of War 2, but Dawn of War is especially are my favorite games. Even Fire Warrior is up there with the quality of 40k games. But the Space Marine 2 just brings it to a whole new level, and I really am excited to see what they do with it over this next year. I'm super excited. The sniper, Salamander Sniper, I think that's kind of cool. As a tactical player, I'm really hyped about what chapter we're going to get for the champion skin for tactical. That's going to be amazing. And I'm kind of guessing that the Vanguard is going to be the Raven Guard. I think the Blood Angel is probably going to get the Assault Marine. And I think something like maybe the Iron Hands might get the tactical, or the Imperial Fists get the tactical. Be pretty cool if the Imperial Fist got something. Maybe not. Let's delete the Imperial Fists and put the Crimson Fist instead, because we all know the Crimson Fist are the OGs and they're best ever. So that's the video. If you do like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe and share and all that good stuff. I will be doing a lot more content. There's a lot more content coming. I have been furiously planning content for these past few days, and it's going to be super cool. Really looking forward to this year for the channel. Space Marine 2 content is going to be coming thick and fast. Lots of hobby content and lots of Horus Heresy and 40k content as well. Maybe with a little bit of Age of Sigmar. And there's definitely going to be some old world stuff in the future. But like I said, if you do like what I'm doing, like, subscribe, share. And if you want to support me in other ways, check out my members and Patreon areas. But that's peace. The video, everybody. Catch you later. Bye-bye.